Mr. Speaker. I also want to rise and offer a few comments about this proposed bill. I think it clearly follows the trend that we're seeing. So where there's been a lack of a transparent review, there's been no reporting back, there's been a lack of rationale in terms of a policy framework about why this centralization, and then we're seeing the proposal, again, that this minister inherits a corporation under their control. And I will acknowledge that that is the structure that exists in other maritime provinces, but without knowing the rationale for Nova Scotia, we can't know if this is the right idea for Nova Scotia. I think I can only echo my colleague, the member from Northside Westmount's concerns around that balance between revenue generation and also thinking about the public health and mental health implications of gambling. That is, again, if that's a role that other provinces have managed within their departments of finance, it would be great to hear from the minister what he's learned about how they've done that and what frameworks and safeguards do they actually have in place. At a recent Public Accounts Committee, there was a discussion around the structure and also a good discussion around mental health and addictions. And, you know, I think it was disturbing to learn that despite record profits, including off of the new online casino, despite record profits, that the defunding of Gambling Awareness Nova Scotia, that $600,000 basically remained at a stagnant level and was absorbed into the department or the Office of Mental Health and Addictions. And I just think that in the face of growing profits, that is not an equal balance out. I'm also concerned, you know, there was a reference during that committee meeting around the importance of thinking about the social determinants of health and thus being able to encompass folks who struggle with gambling, with problematic gambling, into the overall work of the Office of Mental Health and Addictions. And while that's true, it's also true that different mental health concerns and addiction concerns have specific issues. We need to maintain some level of capacity to support people with gambling addictions. And it's not clear from questions that I've asked of the ministers here, from that Public Accounts Committee meeting, that any consideration of that has been given. So I would say that, you know, despite this being you know, the common structure in the Maritimes, we don't know why it's the structure that we need for Nova Scotia. You know, when we talked about online gambling, and I asked the minister for information about that decision, so what policies were developed, what was put in place, I was assured that in fact there are no records of those discussions. I certainly hope that by bringing this, you know, this into the Department of Finance, that actually the work becomes far more transparent and accountable, and that we don't have any other major decisions issued without any sort of written record that can be shared. And with that, I'll take my seat.